Hi, my name is Will, and this is Eulexia Tutoring. And today I wanted to talk about the uvular fricative that's used in French, which is think of it as the French R sound. And in the IPA, this French R is written with this upside down R in this way. And so when you see it in words in a dictionary, or whenever you get an IPA transcription, this is the R that is representative of that sound. Now, before we get into how to articulate this sound, which I want to give you a couple of strategies for doing, it would be good to know a little bit about the physiology of this sound. So here we have the mouth, the vocal apparatus for producing sounds. And one thing you often hear with the French R is that it's made in the throat. It's more in the throat. You always hear this, and that's not accurate, and certainly is not precise. So the French R is not created in the throat. It's not like Arabic, like a h sound created down here, like in the pharyngeal area, but it's actually created with the uvula. Now, the uvula, you could think of as that little punching bag in the back of your throat, the little tongue. That thing back there. You can even see it. So the uvula, or the little tongue, what happens is that the back of your tongue reaches back, is pushed back into your uvula, and it scrapes together. So it's almost like making a s sound, or a sh sound, or a f sound, or a h sound. There's a turbulence that's caused by the uvula being close to the back of the tongue and then kind of scraping through or hissing through. Now, generally, I call these types of sounds hissing sounds. So you think of a cat making a hiss, all right? And if you remember, we have two kinds of sounds. We have sounds that are voiced, like you can think of the sound v, as opposed to the sound f. Both are made with the same means. You use your top teeth against your lower lip, and then you blow with no air, or you sing it out, and you get v. So one is voiced, one is unvoiced. The French uvular fricative is unvoiced. All right, so you just want to blow out air with this sound. All right, so you think of getting your tongue into the right position and then having it scrape against your uvula and then blowing out air. Now, the way that we do this is we actually are going to use the tip of our tongue, the very tip of your tongue, right here, and you're going to push it against the back of your bottom teeth. And when you push the tip of your tongue against the back of your bottom teeth, it's going to raise up the back of your tongue. So here we have the different parts of the tongue. The tip is going to be used. And then when we push that tip into the bottom teeth here, the back of the tongue is going to be lifted up into the uvula. Maybe even the root of the tongue goes against the uvula. So this area here. All right. And so that's one way of producing the sound. That's the mouth position you want to have. So this is one method. I'm going to show another method before I try that one, because it tends to be in the way I've practiced. I get something that's a little more, marked, a little more formal, like the French of singing, like opera. So it tends to be when I try to make the sound that way that I get, which is not how they speak in French generally. So like the word, if I get that guttural thing, it sounds like I'm singing Edith Piaf songs. So the other way you can go about making the sound is that we start with a sound that's also similar to it. And the sound that's most similar to that in the English language is the k sound, all right, or the g sound. So now you can imagine if you're saying a ka, and you feel your back of your tongue raise up against your velum and say, the k sound. There's a little bit of pressure. So it closes completely, and then the pressure pushes out, and you get that k sound. But in French, what we're trying to do is not reach up exactly that high. So you can practice by saying ka, putting your tongue down into the back of your bottom teeth and pushing, and saying ka, and just pay attention to where your tongue is going and where your velum is going, and you want to not touch. So instead of touching and saying ka, you don't touch and you say aha, 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 aha. And the more you practice it, the more natural that position is going to be in your mouth. Aha. So here again, you can hear my Edith Piaf affectation. But you also want to make this a devoiced sound. So maybe aha, aha, aha. And now when you can say aha, aha, and you're getting that sound in that position between the two vowels, aha, aha. Now you can change those vowels. And so it's one thing to pronounce the sound in that environment, aha, versus, for example, saying ihi, ihi. It's going to change your mouth position so there's less space, and so you're going to get a different position that you're going to have to be in. And so practicing with different vowels with that, ihi, ihi, you're going to find is more challenging. When you're saying aha, it's easier to get your tongue back into the right position because your mouth is wide open and there's just more space to work with. But as soon as you say ihi, ihi, your mouth is closed, your jaw is up higher, and you're going to find that you're going to need to practice to be able to make that sound. And after you practice with all the different vowels in that position, the vowel R sound vowel, like aha, oho, iri, uru, oho. Once you can do all those sounds, now you can start doing a different position where you just have the sound what we want followed by a vowel. So instead of aha, ra, ra, re, ri, rai, ro, all the different vowel sounds you can put there. And then once you have done that, you can also put it in another position where you have the vowel first, and then it ends with the R sound that you want. So ar, or, ich, and play with it that way. And then once you are capable of doing it with all those different sounds, just doing nonsense, basically babbling like a baby does, then you can start putting it into real words, like heureux, or like prêtre, être. So putting it into positions that are unnatural with maybe consonant clusters, like apre, être, or like faire. Just putting it in different positions in real words and practicing it. But the main thing is if you have that tongue pushed tight against the back of your bottom teeth, that's generally going to push up the back of your tongue and get it into the right position. And then again, practicing with that aka, aha, aka, aha. Getting your tongue into the exact right position so it's not touching, but it just leaves enough space so that air is going to come through in a turbulent manner. So that's how I deal with the uvular French fricative that's unvoiced, which we know is the French R. All right. Hopefully that was useful for you. Have a nice day.